In morning class, I have given explanation for bitmap index. So you can write the description. In the morning class, you have seen example using B-tree index. After B-tree index with example, bitmap index. For bitmap index, we will not say examples because it is useful in data warehousing. Whenever you are working with old data, then this is used. Please write. Start writing. Listen, see, as I said in morning class, here we are using, we are working with two types of databases. OLTP database and OLAP database. OLTP means online transaction processing. OLAP means online analytical processing. So when you are working with Oracle, when you are using SQL, then it means that you are working with OLTP database. And when you are working on Java projects, live or real-time projects, when you are doing any Java project, it means that you are working with OLTP database. Now I'm creating different tables. Whatever tables I'm creating, whatever tables you are creating, all are stored in OLTP database. So OLAP database is the different. Here we are not using. So if you are creating any table and if you are storing records, the table, the data is saved in OLTP database. So it is used to store current data, which is for 90 days or 100 days, or which is used to store data for the current month or current year, like financial year or academic year. For 1 year, we can store the details. So when that 1 year is over, current year is over, then that data is moved to OLAP database. In the beginning, any data is in OLTP. Then after 1 year, the data will move to OLAP database. So OLAP database is used to maintain old data. Old data which is for 5 years, which is for 10 years, which is for 15 or 20 years. So it is used to maintain old data of any company or any business. So every company will maintain old data for reference. If they want to check, like how the previous year's sales or previous year's income, like differences if they want to know. Difference in sales or difference in production, difference in revenue, with old data they can identify. Okay, so here when we say old data, for old data, data warehouse is used. Data warehouse is used to maintain old data of the company or old data of the business. Okay, and here you can see when we say about bitmap, here you can see when bitmap index is created, then bitmap table is created. When we are creating bitmap index, one table is created. You are getting one table. Table is created. The table contains index column values and row IDs in binary format. When you create bitmap index, one table is created. What is the table? Bitmap table. That bitmap table contains index column. On which column you are creating index column like ENO or ENAME something, and also row IDs in binary format. Row IDs in binary format means zeros and ones. And when select statement is executed, binary data is converted to row IDs. When you are executing select statement, when select statement is executed, binary data is converted to row IDs and index works on the particular column. Okay. So here we are discussing about a cardinality also. Cardinality of the column, how can we calculate is number of distinct values slash total number of values divided by, slash is divided by total number of values. So here you can see cardinality of employee number. When we are working with EMP table, in EMP table employee number is there. So in EMP table 14 rows are there. All the 14 rows are unique. All the 14 rows are 14 employee numbers. 14 employee numbers are different. So then when we say cardinality of employee number, we'll divide 14 rows, 14 rows here, and here you can see 14 employee numbers. So you can say 14 employee numbers divided by 14 rows. 14 employee numbers, all are unique, divided by 14 rows. 14 values, 14 employee numbers, divided by 14 rows means we'll get 1. that is treated as high cardinality. So if the values are having high cardinality, then B tree we can use. Morning what we have discussed with examples, B tree index. And I've told, you have copied the diagram also, how it works. And here when you take job, so job contains duplicate values. In an EMP table, job containing duplicate values. So in 14 rows, you can see president, manager, clerk, salesman, analyst, 5 jobs are there. Manager is repeated, salesman is repeated, clerks are repeated. Like we can see many repetition, lot of repetition is there. Okay, so then we can give like this. 5 by 14 is given. 5 means unique values. Out of 14 jobs, 5 are unique, different. 5 by 14 rows. 14 records means we'll get 0.357 will get. That is treated as a low cardinality. Like if the columns are having duplicates, if the columns are having duplicates, then we'll go with bitmap index. Because in data warehouse with old data, there is chance of duplicate values. There is chance of duplicate values. Then we can use bitmap index is used. Okay. Here you can see create a syntax. You can see create bitmap index name on table name, and then column name will give. So here I am not giving you the examples because in interview they may ask what is the bitmap index, but they will not ask how it is going to work because it is used in a data warehouse with old data. It is used. So when we are working with Oracle, when you are working with Oracle, you are working with current data. You are working with current data. You are working. I am using EMP table which is old, very old. But when you join in company, you will not use EMP table which is 15 years old. For examples I am using. When you join in company, then you will work with only current data only. Current information for current month or current year details you will work. When you are working with Oracle, it means that you will work with current data of the company. Current month details or current year details you will work. You will not work with old data. So here this is the table that you can see here. So row IDs means it will be like this. So here if you are creating on job, bitmap image is created on duplicate column having duplicate values. Bitmap index is created on columns having duplicate values. Here you can see job, analyst, clerk, manager, president, salesman, all these are there. And here you can see row IDs. Job is the column heading, and these are numbers are given to only to understand 0 to 14. And for analyst, row ID is given in bitmap binary format, zeros and ones. This is the row ID in binary format like this. All the row IDs are in binary format, zeros and ones. When you execute select statement, the binary data is converted to row IDs, and then we'll get the result. Okay. So we'll not see example for this. You can practice B-tree index, you can practice. So now we'll work with DCL commands. See, when you are working with SQL, SQL is having sub-languages or subversions like DDL, DML, DCL, DQL, TCL, all these are there. Different sub-languages are there. So when we say DDL, DDL means data definition language. What are the commands comes under DDL? Create, alter, drop, rename, truncate, all these. What are the commands comes under DML commands? DML full form is? What are the commands? Insert, update and delete. And DCL commands are there, data control language. DCL commands are, what are DCL commands? Grant and revoke. Grant and revoke are the DCL commands. And next one is the DQL commands are there. Data query language or data retrieval language. So select is a DQL command or DRL command. Data retrieve language. It is used to retrieve data from the table. And the next one is the TCL commands are there. TCL full form is transaction control language. What are the commands comes under TCL? Rollback and commit. Rollback and commit comes under TCL commands. Rollback is used to cancel the commands which are already executed. Rollback. Rollback is just like undo option. Commit means it is used to confirm the changes. Whatever changes you have done, it will confirm the changes. Or changes are affected permanently in the table. So now we are discussing about DCL commands. Here you can see when we say about permissions, here we can see like permissions means rights will say. So here you can see two types are there. DCL commands means I'll write here grant and revoke. So grant is used to give permissions and revoke is used to remove permissions. Permissions means privileges. Privileges or rights. Grant is used to give privileges. Grant is used to give rights. Okay, revoke is used to remove privileges, to remove rights from the user. Whom we are giving privileges, whom we are giving rights to the user. Now I am saying user. In companies, maybe developer, or maybe data entry operator. If data entry operator is there, depends on the data he works, permissions are given. If developer is there, depends on the data he works, then permissions are given. So here grant and revoke are there here. Grant to give permissions or privileges or rights. Revoke is used to remove privileges or rights or permissions. Here we can see two types of permissions are there. System privileges and object privileges are there. Here you can see system privileges means Oracle is having 80 privileges, 80 permissions, 80 rights are there, rights. So before creating database objects, administrator will give system privileges. Before creating database objects, before creating database objects, administrator will give privileges to the developers. SQL developers. So whatever course you are learning now, with this course you can work as a SQL developer or Oracle developer. Oracle developer means you have to work on SQL and PLSQL. After 1-2 classes, I will start PLSQL, programming. That is also important. So some of you may think like only queries are necessary. Programming is also important. If you are working, if you are learning Java full stack, and if you are good in Java, you have to be good in Oracle also. You have to be good in SQL and also PLSQL. PLSQL means you will write programs. Okay. So here, before creating database objects means tables, views, indexes, sequence, then synonym. All these comes under database objects. Here database objects is table. Table is database object. Views. I have told about views. I have told about indexes. Morning we have discussed. And I have told about sequence object. All these comes under database objects. Database objects means tables, views, indexes, synonyms. Synonyms we did discuss. Synonym means another name for table. Whenever you want to give another name, secondary name for the table, only just name. Then synonyms we can use. Synonym is just giving another name for the table. Giving another name or secondary name for the table. So all these comes under database objects. So before creating database objects, administrator will give system privileges for developers so that they can create tables, views, indexes, and they can create stored procedures. Stored procedures also will comes under database objects. So in PLSQL, you will learn creating stored procedures. So when you create stored procedure, then it comes under database object. Stored procedures are database objects. Stored procedures, functions, then triggers. All these comes under database objects. In whatever you learn in PLSQL programs, they are also database objects. So here I am deleting materialized view in the list. I have told only views. Materialized view means it contains data physically. In views, there is no data. In materialized views, data will be there. Physically, data is stored. Memory is used. But again, it is used by the administrator. That's why we are not discussing. That is used by the administrator. See, whatever I am telling here, you have to remember. I am telling about materialized views. When you go for interviews, down if they are asking what is materialized view, you should not say, sir didn't give notes, sir didn't discuss. You should not say that. If they ask about synonym, what is synonym? Another name for the table. Secondary name for the table, only just name. We are giving just name for the table, synonym. Materialized view means what? It stores the data physically. Physically, it stores data. That is called what? Material. Index. These are called as objects. Objects means these will be given on table and other objects like insert permission, update permission, delete, select, execute. All these are the privileges. Like all these are used on table. Insert command, update command, delete command, select command, execute. All these are used on tables and other objects. All these are used on tables and other objects. Object means nothing but a table. Tables, views, indexes, synonyms, sequence. What is the use of sequence? What is the purpose of using sequence? Sequence is used to generate numbers. So it is called as auto numbers. Whatever numbers, I think Saturday morning, I've told Saturday, Friday, sequence. Friday I've told sequence. Sequence is for generating numbers. For generating numbers, sequence we are using. Okay. Sequence is whatever numbers generates, we are using in the table. We sequence what are the pseudo columns we are using? Carval and next val. Pseudo columns are the independent columns works on any table. While working with Carval and Nextval, we are using dual table. So dual is a tiny table with one row and one column. Whenever you are working with the values which are not related to any table, or whenever you want to execute functions, dual table is used. Dual also we have used. మీరు ఇది గుర్తులేదు అనుకోండి, మీరు సింపుల్ గా ఏం చెప్తారు, సార్ కవర్ చేయలేదు అనేస్తారు అంతే. నేను అన్ని చెప్తాను క్లాస్ లో, మీకు గుర్తు లేకపోతే ఏం చెప్తారు, సార్ కవర్ చేయలేదు అంటారు అంతే. కానీ ప్రూఫ్ ఉంది, నేను నోట్బుక్ లో, మీ నోట్బుక్ లో నేను చెప్పిన దాన్ని ఉంటాయి. మీరు అన్నారు అనుకోండి డిస్కస్ చేయలేదంటే నేను అంటాను ఓపెన్ యువర్ నోట్బుక్ అంటాను, అక్కడ ఆ టాపిక్స్ అన్ని చూపిస్తాను మీకు. ఓకే, సో హియర్ యూ కెన్ సీ two types of privileges. system privileges and object privileges. In starting classes, I told how to create a user, granting permissions, all these. If you want to create a new user, then you have to write this, create user, username, then identified by password. So all executed this, and many are still working in sys system. You are unable to create username in your system, and you are unable to give permissions. You are unable to give privileges to the new user. Many are still working in sys system, administrator logins. And here you can see grant is there. Whenever you want to grant system privileges, or whenever you want to grant object privileges. System privileges are given to use for creating synonym, all these. Object privileges are given to object name. Object name is create username identified by some password will use. కాదండి అది కాదు మనం మన అది కాదు మీరు తప్పుగా అర్థం చేసుకున్నారు. So here identified by password, and after creating user we have to give privileges, we have to give permissions or rights. So here you can see grant connect resource DBA to username. So here connect resource DBA are the roles we are seeing here. Role contains set of privileges, set of permissions. Role is a collection of privileges. Role is a collection of permissions. Here you can see connect is there. Connect is used for end user. So those who want to connect to Oracle, connect is used. Resource is there. Resource is used by the developer, Oracle developers or SQL developers. They can work with resources. Resources means tables, views, indexes, synonyms, stored procedures, triggers, all these. And the DBA role is used by the administrator. So those who want all the permissions, then we can grant DBA role. DBA role we can grant. We can give. Okay. So here we are giving all these permissions here. And here if you want to give object privileges, not system privileges, object privileges you can give like this. Grant all on Scott.emp to Sunil. Grant all privileges. All privileges means select, insert, update, delete, execute on Scott.emp. So in Scott user, EMP table is there. On EMP table in Scott user, I am giving all the permissions to Sunil. So Sunil can execute select statement on EMP table. Insert, update, delete commands on EMP table. Execute on EMP table. All these can be done. So here we are giving object privileges. And here you can see we are giving system privileges. Grant create table permission, create view permission to Sunil. Like this we are giving here. Like this we are giving. Okay. Grant create table permission, create view permission, create materialized view permission, create any index permission. Many are there. You can use all those. So here we are going to give like this. Here connect Sunil, then password is given. So when you enter into new login, when you enter into new user, then you are allowed to access EMP table in Scott because already permissions are given. You can use like this. In Sunil user, you can use EMP table which is in another user. Okay, we are not doing this before. We are entering into new login or new user. We are executing the commands. Okay. So here we can see set of role is there. Role means set of privileges, set of permissions, set of rights. Here we can create role like this. Create role name. So we can give like this, create role manager. And we are granting some privileges to manager. Grant, create procedure, create any index to manager. Here I am just giving two. Create a procedure, create any index to manager. Manager table here. DAC role underscore sys underscore PRIVS is there. So this is the system table. So here we need to write like this. Select role. Role means column name in the system table. Privilege is the column name in the system table. Select role privilege from role underscore sys underscore PRIVS. System table name. Where role equal to manager. Like this we are giving. We are creating the role. We are giving permissions to the role. Okay. And here you can see. If you want to remove the object privileges here, revoke all on Scott.emp from Sunil. Revoke all means we are removing all the object privileges on EMP. Like we are removing select, insert, update, delete permissions. And if you want to delete object privileges, we'll give like this. Revoke, create table permission, create view permission from Sunil. So here some comments are given. So we'll execute all these comments. But first I am telling you the list of comments that are given here. Syntaxes are also given. So now I am going to execute these commands. So here I'll say connect sys as sysdba. Okay, sys as sysdba. Okay, sys as sysdba. Password is system. Problem while typing. Okay, so here I've typed sys connect. I'm not using sys as sysdba. Sys as sysdba. Password is system. Okay, so here I can say show user. So now I'm in. Now I'm in. Now I'm in. Sys. Sys means a developer login or administrator login. Administrator login. In companies, administrators will use sys or system and they can do any task. Developer task or administrative task, any task they can do it. Any task they can do it. Okay. Now here I'll say select asterisk from all underscore users. This will show all the users here. Sys system is there. Scott is there here. Scott has created. Scott user is created. Scott user is there. Scott user is there. Now I am creating new user. Create user Sunil. Identified by India is given. Create user Sunil. Sunil is a new username. Identified by password. India is given. So user is created. After creating user, we have to grant permissions. So I'm not using a session. I think in printout lab exercise paper it is there now. But don't do that. Try these commands. Like today onwards, you have to do all your examples in Scott, not in sys or system. Okay. So here I'll say grant, connect, resource, DBA to Sunil. So here three roles are there. Connect, resource, DBA are predefined. Predefined roles which are already in Oracle. Connect is for end user. Those who want to connect to database. Like using Java application if you want to connect to database. Using Java website if you want to connect to database. Okay, then connect is used. And next one is resource is there. Resource is another role used for developer. Resources means developer can work with resources. Resources means tables, views, indexes, synonyms, sequence, procedures, all these are there. And here you can see DBA is there. So DBA means administrator role. If you want to perform DBA tasks, then we can grant DBA also. But see here when you are learning, then I'm telling you to give all the permissions. But in real time, this won't happen. They will not use DBA role. If they have given you DBA role, you can do any task. So sometimes the data may be deleted. Okay, that's why they will not give you all the permissions. Only some permissions they'll give. Object privileges they'll give. Object privileges means on tables they'll work. System privileges means creating objects. Creating table, creating view, creating index, all this. Okay, like this I'm giving. Now Sunil is equal to. Now Sunil is equal to. Sunil is equal to. Sunil is equal to. Sunil is equal to. Sys. Sunil is equal to sys. He is having all permissions now. Now Sunil is also get a Sunil also administrator login only. We are giving all permissions like this, not a spot. Here we are giving everything, including DBA privileges also we are giving. Okay. And now here we'll see how to give object privileges and system privileges. Now here you can see grant all on spot.emp to Sunil and giving. So here I'll say grant all privileges on spot.emp to Sunil. So here Sunil can use EMP table in Spot. Sunil can use EMP table in Spot user. Spot every time using no. So like this I'm giving. And all means all the object privileges. All means select, insert, update, delete, execute, all works here. Instead of all, you can write select, grant select on spot.emp. Grant, insert, update, delete on spot, like that you can give. I'm giving all privileges. Grant succeeded. And here we can give object privileges also. If you want to allow Sunil to create table, if you want to allow Sunil to create view, or to create any index, or to create any materialized view, then we can grant privileges. We can give. So here I'll say, then grant create table permission, create a view permission, then to Sunil. Okay. So grant succeeded. So here we are giving object privileges, and we are giving system privileges, and we are giving object privileges on the table. Now connecting to new user. Connecting to new user. So here I'll say connect Sunil, then India. Connected to new user. Then here I'll say I'm using set lines for EMP table. So here I'll say select asterisk from Scott.emp. EMP table is in Spot user and accessing in Sunil. Like this we can access. Okay. You can see EMP table here. In Spot user, whatever tables are there, you can access like this. So on EMP table, Sunil is having all permissions. All means select, insert, update, delete. Anything can be done here. Now here we are going to create a new role like connect resource DBA. See here I am creating a role. Role means set of privileges. Set of privileges or rights or permissions. Privileges means permissions. So here I'll say create role manager. You can give any name. I'm just giving manager. Then here I'll say grant. Then create procedure. Create any index to manager. Only two roles I'm giving here. Create procedure. So manager, those are having manager role. Those are having manager role, they can create store procedure. They can create any index. Any index means B-tree index or bitmap index. Grant succeeded. Okay. This role we can connect, give to new user. This role we can give to new user. I think that comment is not there here. We'll do that. So here I'll say grant manager to Sunil. So I am giving this. I am giving now. I am in Sunil. Connect. She says. See, role creation, granting permissions in Sunil also it is possible because I have given DBA permissions also. That's why it is accepting. Okay. So here sys DBA. So now here I'll create the role again. Or else I'll try this. Grant manager role. Manager role to Sunil. So like this we can grant. Grant manager role to Sunil. Manager is having some permissions, privileges. Creating procedure, creating any index. Okay. Now here I'll say revoke. This command I'll add here. So before using revoke commands, we'll use this. Role sys PRIVS is there. Privileges. This system table will use here. So DSC, this one. DSC role sys PRIVS. This is the system table. So we'll show what are the privileges in role, manager role. So here we'll say select a role, then privilege from role underscore sys underscore PRIVS, where role equal to manager. This is used to show the privileges given to the role. So we may be in different user, we may be in. That's why it is not giving. So if you want to see all the privileges, then this is a command. I think we may be in different user. In Sunil we can check. In Sunil it will work. So here I'll say connect Sunil India. See, now it is giving like this. In Sunil it is working. Because in Sunil, manager role is created. It is giving create any index permission is there. Create procedure permission is there. So sometimes when we create the role, we may forget what permissions we are given. If you want to check, then we can give like this. Now again, connect sysdba, then system. And now here we'll revoke the permissions. Revoke. Revoke means deleting permissions. Revoke all from scott.emp. Revoke all on scott.emp to Sunil. I think from we should use. from. No. Rework rework all on, spot.env. See, this is the command. See this. Rework all on, spot.env from username. So here I'll say rework, create table permission, create view permission from Sunil. Like this, we can remove the permissions. See, all these are DBA commands, but you need to know the commands. Even if I've told you before in the beginning classes, many are still working in sys and system. Today I've given many other commands here. Today I've told many other commands. So with these commands, you have to create your own user, create a spot user. And in spot user, from today onwards, you start working on the tables. Write a main heading. Main heading is DCL commands. This is main heading. It should be in the center. Within brackets, grant and revoke. After giving main heading, then you can start writing. Permissions or rights are of two types. Start writing. Yes, alias name and secondary name. Synonym కూడా అంతే, but name is saved. See, when you give no temporary table name, alias name, it is only for temporary use. Synonyms are saved in database. Synonyms are saved in database. Whenever you access the synonym, the related table will work. U contains column names. Synonym is just a name. It is the secondary name, alternate name given to the table. Madam? అది ఇప్పుడు యూస్ లేదు మేడం, అది అంటే అది అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ లో అసలు అది చెప్పట్లేదు. A role sys PRA BS is there, no? This is the system table. System table we can call it as a data dictionary also. Role underscore sys PRA BS means system table. System tables will call as a data dictionary. And here you can see role, privilege. These are column names in the system table. Role, privilege are the column names. These are the column names in system table. Role privilege are the column names. Column names in system table. Here we are creating a role called manager and we are giving some permissions to the role and we are applying that role to the user. User called Sunil. Here we have seen how to remove the permissions and one more command is there. If I want to delete the user, so now I'm in system. If I want to delete the user here, then here I'll use a drop username Sunil. So here user is dropped. So here we are deleting the user. So after creating the user, we are giving permissions. After giving permissions, we have tested this. Then we have removed all the permissions. Then user is dropped, deleted. Like this we can do. See, for practice, don't do all this. Whatever I've told in afternoon session, don't do all this. For practice, what you should do, students? Creating user, give permissions, and connect to user. See, when you are practicing, practice only creating user. After that, give permissions. Grant connect resource to username. Then connect to new user. Don't do all this, not necessary. If you are having comments, you can keep in your notebook. But don't try all this. Creating role, giving a role to the user, all these no need to do. Only 3 comments you have to do, students. First is user creation. Then writing grant connect resource to username. Don't use even DB also. Grant connect resource to username. After that, connect to new user. Over. Don't do all this. In interview, they'll not ask all this. But here I'm having comments, so I've executed all these one by one. So what are the 3 comments you have to execute? Today, with this, here I've told many comments. Don't do all this. You can practice index. Index is very good concept, morning what we discussed. But here in with the DCL comments, practice only 3 comments. What is the first command? User. After that, grant permission. grant connect resource to username. Grant connect resource to username. No need of DBA. Then after that, connect new user / password. After that, we can create tables and you can work. So I'm stopping now, and tomorrow we'll continue with the functions in Oracle. Functions list we'll see. And after that, PLSQL I'm going to start, PLSQL programming. And I don't know what you are doing in lab. I think you need to complete joins, subqueries, nested subqueries, correlated subqueries. Many are there to complete. So students are not coming even to the class also. Today's strength is very less. I don't know why, what happened. Today is good day, no? Why couldn't Ekadasi? Today morning, I think all will go to temples. Today, I think. But they can come at 11 o'clock, they can come to the class. They are not coming to the classes. Tomorrow we'll see the strength. Okay, you can now you can go to lab. Why?